Hey guys, what's going on? This is John Rivera from the Solid State Gamer, and you are once again watching another installment of Solid State Gamer Live. This is live video game streams coming at you through the interwebs. I apologize for the tardiness of the stream. I had some issues with YouTube Studio. It refused to allow me access to the live studio, so I had to unfortunately delay the stream, and I had to finagle a few things. I was kind of worried that this stream might not have happened tonight, but I guess hard work and diligence prevailed after all. So with this stream, now last week I was doing Sega Genesis games, and the week before that I did the same thing. I kind of transitioned from PlayStation to Sega Genesis. But now I'm going to switch it up even further. I'm going to go Super Nintendo this time. And I've affectionately dubbed this stream Superstar Fox Sunday. And that's mainly because I'm going to play my way through Star Fox for the Super Nintendo, the original one. The one that matters in my heart. So, Star Fox is a really important game to me as far as my gaming upbringing is concerned. It was one of the few games that really dazzled me back in the day. Now, obviously, the graphics haven't aged terribly well. There are a lot of aspects of the game that are quite antiquated, to say the least, but it's an undeniable classic, and it was definitely a top tier game of its class when it came out. And it was a game that I adored back then as much as I adore it nowadays. And so we're going to take a quick look at it. But before I do, before we start proper, I want to read the back of the box. Alright, Star Fox, and I quote, "Lead the Star Fox team to victory. In the distant Lilat star system, imagine yourself at the controls of a futuristic, heavily armed space fighter, the R-Wing. Lead the counterattack on an invasion force of hundreds of alien tanks, fighter ships, laser gun emplacements, and super battleships. Maneuver at warp speed through fog-enshrouded canyons, dense asteroid belts, and waves of the enemy's best defenses. You must use skill and cunning to bring the fight to the enemy's home planet Venom, and smash the core brain for victory." Alright, and here's a little blurb about the Super Effects microchip. Now, the microchip was, or the Super Effects chip was a coprocessor that was slapped into every Super Effects game cartridge for the Super Nintendo. And that was the only way for the graphics to actually run. None of the graphical rendering and output through the video DACs was done through the dual function GPU of the Super Nintendo proper. It was actually all done through the Super Effects coprocessor microchip. Think of it as a very, very early commercial graphics accelerator, mainly for doing soft-shaded polygonal 3D. Alright, so here's the blurb. The Super Effects microchip is on board for fluid game control and special effects previously unavailable in home video games. The action explodes from all directions in realistic real-time 3 dimensions. Nice. Alright, let's get into it. Hey guys, what's up? So, again, before I start, I want to give you guys a gander at the box. It's a little difficult to thinking in reverse as I'm orienting this. There's the front right there. As you can see, Fox McCloud looks quite photorealistic, and he may even come off as creepy to people nowadays, but the aesthetic of the main characters of Star Fox was heavily inspired by the puppet TV series made by Gary Anderson known as the Thunderbirds, and that was it was like a syndicated TV show that was I guess really popular in America to a certain extent, England for sure, but I guess it saw airtime in Japan. And Shigeru Miyamoto was a big fan of the Thunderbirds and decided to adopt that aesthetic for all of the characters as far as the promotional materials were concerned. I actually like that approach. It was kind of a hodgepodge sort of experiment between the soft shaded 3D polygonal technology of the Argonaut software team, coupled with the creative edge of Nintendo's internal development staff, and then also Shigeru Miyamoto's eccentric interests, if you will. So, but enough of that. Let's pop this game in and turn this bad boy on. So as I said, this game was co-developed between Argonaut Software, which basically handled the 3D graphics engine nuts and bolts that governs everything that happens in Star Fox. The more creative aspects in terms of the story and the characters, that was all done by Nintendo. For the most part. I'm sure that there was crossover between the two teams, but in terms of making the flat-shaded 3D polygonal graphics a reality, that lies on the shoulders of Argonaut Software. More specifically, it lies on the shoulders of the team lead, Dylan Cuthbert. And believe it or not, this is not the first collaboration between these two storied developers. Here's the title screen right here. So we have a nice vista of the R-Wing right here, and also 2D rendering, of the Star Fox team. Now, this is one of the only few times you actually see this particular R-Wing model. And when I say model, I mean this particular polygonal model. This one happens to be the higher polygon count model. And then right here, at the controls select screen, you can actually see the high poly count R-Wing model. And you can actually pilot it. You can actually control it. This is the only time in the game that you can control this particular character model or object. You cannot control this at any other point in the game. The rest of the game, you'll either see this thing in cinematics, the title screen, or this control select screen. That's it. The rest of the game, you're controlling a significantly lower polygon count model of the R-Wing. And you can tell, if you orient the R-Wing just the right way, you can actually see the blue polygon that represents the cockpit window. You cannot see that in the gameplay model. So, anyway, so as you can see, there are 4 different control schemes. The other 3 I don't think are necessarily good, especially this one, because up is up in this one, and down is down, sorry. And so is the case with Control D. Up is up and down is down. Not necessarily good to, I guess, replicate the piloting of a spacecraft or an aircraft. Usually you want it to mimic the yoke, as where if you're piloting like a fighter craft, you pull up, you pull back on the joystick, then your craft goes up, push forward, it goes down. So any control scheme that's more or less analogous to piloting a craft of some sort in the air or in space, I would say that that's the more proper control scheme. So yeah, Control C and D, I think, are garbage. Control B is passable, but I got so used to Control setting A that I just don't bother with the others. Alright, so okay, so you have your option of going into the training mode, which kind of teaches you how to... It's like a little sandbox of sorts where you can actually control the R-Wing and mess around with the different maneuvers. Let's just do this for, a warm-up. It's been quite some time since I've played this game. It's been years, actually, so these little pylons right here, you can actually shoot at them and propel them upwards in the air. Kind of a good exercise for testing out your accuracy. Now, for those of you who are familiar with Star Fox 64, you'll notice that there's no reticle on the screen. So there's really no way, there's no advanced way of knowing where your shots are going to land or what direction they're going to go in. So in this game, you kind of have to just fire and forget and use your lasers as kind of like tracer rounds, and I kind of screwed that up, unfortunately. If you get all of those rings in a row, General Pepper will, chime in and say, like, he'll say something to the effect of, "Oh, I'm sorry I doubted you." And right here, we have to keep in formation. Really tough, because the controls don't really allow for a lot of nuance. Oh, goodness gracious. Ooh. Nice. Well, at least I got that part of the training session down. Let's see if I can get all of these rings in a row. That was close. Ugh, how did I miss that? That sucks. Alright, well, I'm going to press start and get out of the training session. Alright, so now we're going to start the proper game. So on the main map screen, we have our choices of, let's see, Course 1 or Level 1, Level 2, and Level 3. I'm going to go with Course 1 because it's been, like I said, it's been years since I played this game. And this will be kind of like a good refresher, if you will. Star Fox team. Our last resort is to counterattack Venom. Good luck. Corneria the base.
Good luck.
Good luck. So even though this game doesn't really look like much by today's standards, the point of this game back in the day was not to be, I guess, a mechanical tour de force, but it was definitely about being a graphical tour de force of its time. And it definitely was, at least on the home console front. When it comes down to it, Star Fox is less about the gameplay, more about the spectacle. Then again, it's no slouch in the gameplay area. It's a surprisingly functional and very satisfying rail shooter. Alright, we're gonna Nova Bomb these guys. Go through this loop. Get this Wing Blaster. As the game says, Wing Blaster. Go. Alright, hopefully my gameplay during this section is better than that of the training section. I wasn't doing so hot in that section. Ooh, that was close. Hey, that one was mine. Whatever you say, Falco. And for those of you guys who are more familiar with Falco from the N64 Star Fox than the original, trust me, he's a jerk in this version too. That's kind of how he started out. Okay, another Nova Bomb. I'm actually not doing all that bad. Get lost, you fiend. Yeah, thanks. What's up, buddy? Nova Bomb again. There we go. Oh, that's what I get for not paying attention. Whoa, that was close. Incoming enemy. So not only did this game have pretty, I guess, serviceable, soft-shaded 3D polygonal graphics, it also had some pretty good voice sampling, too. I would say the quality of the voice sampling or the voice acting is much better in this game than its contemporaries or its counterparts. There we go, and that's boss number 1. I think I might still have it. Even though it's been quite a few years since I played this game last, this game is sort of ingrained in my memory for forever. Let's see how I did. 100%. Nice. The asteroid belt. Andross's forces intend to build a base in this area. Destroy their rock crusher. Okay, heard. I never liked this first-person perspective, so I'm not going to use it. Yeah, for some reason, anytime I play Star Fox, I prefer to use the third-person camera. It's just way too jarring and inconsistent to be using the first person for space levels and then to use the third person for planetary surface levels, which is pretty much how the game delineates the two perspectives. I don't know why it delineates the two perspectives that way, but it just does. Oh no, you don't. Leave my Slippy alone. What's up? Come on, come on. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so now we have to contend with this asteroid belt. Okay. Steady. There we go. Let's see, is the wing blaster gonna show up? Yes, yeah, there we go. Got the double wing blaster. Gotta kill that guy. Should I go for the black hole? Let's do it. Screw it. Go for blur. Yeah, go for broke. Oh. Come on. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We're doing it. Going for broke. Boom. Alrighty. Whew. Okay, so now we're at the secret level. I didn't really originally intend to do this, but we're doing it, so. The awesome black hole. This space graveyard, created by Andross's experiments, is where your father vanished, Fox. So, even in the original Star Fox, there was a subplot concerning Fox's estranged and disappeared, or missing father, so.
Good luck.
I was about to say disappearing, but he had already disappeared. So this is the mysterious black hole level. Now, this level is kind of like a warp zone of sorts. Aside from this extra life that I'm gonna get. There we go. What's up, buddy? Oh, jeez. Alright. Guess I'm not welcome. Get this third wing blaster that doesn't really do anything. Alright, so we're gonna take the first warp. And that's going to take us to Sector Y on Course 2. Or Level 2. Right. There we go. Oh, there's a shooting star. Nice. Okay, Sector Y. How are the R-Wings handling? If an amoeba clings to your ship, use L or R to get rid of it. Heard.
Good luck.
This level is really cool because we see kind of like the mythos of Star Fox and how it began. See all these stingrays and octopi. It's just really cool to see the original universe of Star Fox. So back in the day, you would have these creatures that could actually survive and exist in vacuum. Don't hit me. Okay, here's the amoeba field. Cool. Another extra life. I remember always dying on this level. I mean, it's like no matter what I did, I just bit the dust in horrible fashion. There was no escaping it. And it usually had to do with these amoebas. I just didn't know how to shake them, even though General Pepper tells you exactly what to do. But then again, it was 1993, and I was barely 5 years old. Well, I was just 5 years old when this game came out. So I couldn't read. Not really, not at that point. I could, you know, discern letters and I could read basic words, but I couldn't really read dialogue. Come on, come on. There we go. Get that continue. That checkpoint. Out of my way, Slippy. Come on, fam. Yeah, you should be thankful, Slippy. You almost made me miss all of these power-ups. Power-ups that I need. Damn it. I don't remember how to beat this boss, exactly. Which kind of sucks. Oh, don't hurt me. Man, I really don't know how to beat this guy. Oh, do I hit the pulsating arms? Gosh, it's been so long. Yep, there we go. Oh, what? What am I doing wrong? Jeez. Okay, buddy. There we go. God bless. Ugh! Wish I know. Man, I wish I knew what to do. Like, I'm doing some damage, but I don't know what spots to hit. Oh, God bless. Wow. All right. This was unexpected. You know what's interesting about this stage? This is the only space stage I can think of that starts out in a third-person camera perspective. Interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna last long without my wing blaster. Oh gosh, yeah, that sucks. Oh jeez. Whoa. This might be it, folks. Okay, there's one. Come on, I'm desperately trying not to hit these guys. God bless America. Come on. Jeez, 'em. Can only get one. Okay. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do on this. But there's only one way to find out. Okay, not well. Alright, well, I seem to be doing some damage. Oh, God! That sucks. I don't even know what I hit. Alright, let's try this once again. God, jeez. Man. I don't remember ever having this kind of trouble. Ah, jeez. Oh, piss off. Alright, well, just a sliver of health left. Or a fifth of health left. Can't even talk right now. Kind of irritated. Ugh, come on. Oh, man. Man, I knew that... I knew that the stream not loading for me was a bad omen. Like, it was. Come on. Here we go. No! Ugh, you mother. This is ridiculous. Why am I doing so poorly? There we go. Okay. Nope! Stop it. Ridiculous. Mm. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh gosh, jeez, I literally cannot. I can't shoot at that from there. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. That's the barrier of the screen. Man. See. That's really odd that you're saying it's mute, because... See. Hmm. Can you hear me now? So I can't hear you because it's on mute, otherwise... Huh. Okay. Well, as long as... As long as you can theoretically hear me and there are no audio issues, then should be no issues. Here we go. Alright, right on. I just heard myself, so... Oh, here's something cool. You can actually manipulate this R-Wing however you want. That's kind of like a little sandbox. This is the only other time you have access to the high polygon count R-Wing. Otherwise, you have no access to it, aside from the control select screen, or the cinematics, or this continue screen. The only time you have access to the high poly count R-Wing.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, let's try this once again.
Good luck.
All right. Let's give it the old college try. Oh gosh, how come I can't aim right now? There we go. There's one down. Ooh, deflected that shot. Woo! Missed all three of them. Oh, I need you. There we go. Wing blaster. Needed that. I absolutely needed that. Beware of the big stingray. Yeah, if you shoot that big stingray too many times, it will wreck your... Oh, it'll just wreck your shit. And that's why this a-hole right here is trying to shoot it. Trying to get it agitated. Not missing that checkpoint. Go. Dude, Slippy, I swear if you get in my way, I'm gonna be pissed off. Oh, thank God. Thank God for the sea whale. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are awesome. Thank you. Okay, let's try this again. There we go, we're doing it. Whew. Hell to the, yeah. I don't care, we're doing this. Yep. Whew. Maybe my trouble with this boss was just a fluke. Let's hope so. I know I certainly do. I hope so. Gosh, man, things were looking a little bit desperate back there. And like I said, tonight was, I feel like there was a bad omen in the air. When YouTube Studio decided to crap out on me and decided, hey, I'm not going to work for you tonight. I don't know. However, I do believe that everything happens for a reason. So. And here we are. We are already at Venom, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we are already at Venom. Wish my brother were on the stream right now. He would get a kick out of this. He and I both have very fond memories playing this game. The Venom, the final goal. Is everyone alright, Fox? We're on course to sneak into Venom's back door. Alright, good luck. Is right. Alright. Get out of the third person, because I think it's BS. What? What? Go. Here we go. Ribbit, thanks for the save. Oh, Andros is launching his IPBMs at me. Nope, don't. Nope. Stop it. Watch your aim, Fox. Get out of my way then, dude. Come on. All you have to do is get out of my way. So, in this game, you can actually shoot your co-pilots all you want. Your squad mates. Go to town, dude. Like, it doesn't even matter. You can shoot them till the cows come home. They are not dying. They only take damage from enemy fire, not friendly fire. Go, I got one. Ugh! I couldn't... Wow, I couldn't reach it. It was just beyond the boundary. That sucks. There we go, I got the health power up. This boss is a little bit tricky, but small potatoes, I think. Shouldn't be too, you know, famous last words, of course. Ooh, that was close. Ooh. Alright, let's just cheat and do this. Whittle them down just a little bit more. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, that was it? I was gonna say that the rest of that life bar is inconsequential. All scripted. After that point, it's all pretty much scripted. I always loved how these guys communicate. They're like speaking in their animalese, if you will. Alright, let's do this. It's the final stretch. Damn it. No! God, jeez. Ridiculous. I hate that. Like, your shots hit the little barrier before they hit the dude, or the enemy, or the object. Ridiculous. That's what I was trying to avoid. Still took damage, though. Just enemies, enemies upon enemies, bringing more enemies, creating more enemies. I don't think so, buddy. Nope. Nope. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead, too. Nope. I've got to get to the right side. I've got to move over to this side. Nice. Right on, Star Fox is a go. Blug blug blah blah. What's up, bro? Man, it's unfortunate. You're just in time to miss the entirety of my playthrough. But then again, things were looking kind of desperate. I would say, what, 20 minutes ago? I couldn't get the stream up and running. YouTube Live was crapping out on me. Basically decided that it didn't feel like working for me tonight, so... Oh! Oh, jeez, come on. Oh, piss off. That's bullshit. There's no, like, as soon as I reoriented my craft, it shunted to the other direction. I mean, I know that that's a thing that the game does, but... ridiculous. Man, I'm just not well practiced when it comes to the mechanics. LOL, good to see you. Just got off. How was work, dude? I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Just to let you know that I try to stream once every week, and so far I've been streaming every Sunday at 10 p.m. So. Whoa, that was close. Oh. Alright, that's one eye. Nice! There we go. One more round to go. Work was easy, did 61. Kind of busy for a Sunday shift. Yeah, for sure. Oh gosh, I don't know how I dodged that. Shift went well though. Cool. Whew. You're gonna get it. As in, I'm gonna get the boss beat. Or I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get got. Oh, goodness gracious. That's what I get for not paying attention. Really hard to talk and play at the same time and manage the chat all at once. There we go. That's game. Do my little... Boom, there we go. Beat the boss. Yep. I done did it. Alright, and cue the ending sequence. Last time, well, the second to last time we see the high polygon count R-Wing. Here we go. I always got a kick out of that. Especially Falco. But yeah, Star Fox for the Super Nintendo, released in 1993, developed by Argonaut Software, published by Nintendo. It's a classic for the ages. You know, I don't care what anybody says about the framework. You know, I mean, I do. I mean, but when it comes down to how I feel about the game, I don't care about the frame rate. I don't care about the rickety nature of the polygonal graphics. I don't care how low polygon count the R-Wings look, or the levels look, or, you know, the 2.5D aspects of the game. This game, for me, was a very magical game when it... And to be honest, I still think it retains that magic. Even though the technology is nothing compared to the standards of today, There's just a quality about it. Just everything having to do with the music, the sound design, the level design,
This is Corneria.
just the soul of the game. Just there's a
On a job well done.
there's a je ne sais quoi about it. And I'm not gonna lie, every time I revisit this game, I always get this kind of warm feeling inside. Not just nostalgia, because I actually get the same feeling from the game today that I got from this game back in 1993. You know, rough polygonal warts and all. I still feel the same magic that I felt when I first played this game in 19. Blug blah blah says, "Good job, thanks, bro. I appreciate it." We need to get together sometime, by the way. Blug blah blah. I've actually picked up bass again. I got myself an acoustic bass, and I've been practicing. So we'll definitely have to jam out at some point. I might be off on Tuesday. Want to hang out then? The blug blah blah says, "I understand and agree. I loved it when you had me play it a ways back. It reminds me of simpler times." Absolutely. And even though the game is it's very challenging. You know, I choked a little bit on Sector Y, but you know, I kind of soldiered on and you know, perseverance conquered over, you know, against all odds. So the Gaming Instincts TV, what's up, bro? I've been watching him for a while. Me or someone else? I don't know. But yeah, I choked a little bit on Sector Y, but you know, I gave it another good old college try. Perseverance soldiered on. So yep. Also, hey, blug blah blah. Got my hands on a banjo, and it was completely free. All I had to do was buy a new bridge and new strings. And it's a vintage one, like a 1955 K-brand banjo. Pretty badass. Should be playing some good old Soulstar someday. Soulstar. Refresh my memory, Omega. Because I'm not quite sure I remember that game. But yeah, there's a lot that I miss about the original Star Fox that was never grandfathered into the next generation of Star Fox. And it's stuff like this. Just hearing the music right here. When you listen to the soundtrack, there's a clear delineation between the planetary surface levels and the spacefaring levels. The soundtrack on the planetary levels, it's kind of got like a rock and roll sort of theme, very grindy, pretty solid for a Super Nintendo game to create that music. But here, in the spacefaring levels, you get this really sweeping and majestic symphonic sort of composition to the music, and it's just amazing. It makes you feel like you're right there, you know. Let's see. Soulstar for the Sega CD. Um, you know what? I don't think I've ever played that game. Then again, I rented a Sega CD once. Back in what 1994 was it? From Blockbuster Home Video. And the games that I played on there were Sonic CD and Sewer Shark. Sewer Shark is just awful. It's not a good game. But interesting fact about Sewer Shark, it was developed by Sony ImageSoft. That was kind of the beginning of the, I guess, the rivalry or the angst or even the beef between Sony and Nintendo. So, little interesting factoid, guys. The Blug Blug Blah Blah says, "This is my first time watching the SSG channel. I'm ashamed to admit." That's cool, bro. No big deal. Been meaning to follow the live streams for a while. Dude, it's cool. You can always catch the VOD when it's done rendering or when it's ready to be viewed. Omega says, "It was a very impressive game for the Sega CD tech." Wow. You know, I do have a Sega CD game that is a rail shooter, or it's a scrolling shmup, like the games that I played 2 ago, like Battlemania, Daiginjo, and Space Harrier 2. It's called Solfi. I think in Japan it was known as Sol Dees. I don't know why they renamed it to Feast over Dees. It's just the thing that they do. Let's see. Well, that's Star Fox, folks, ladies and gentlemen, guys, gals. All right. Well, I'm gonna power this down. And let's do something else for the bookend of this stream. We're gonna keep it in the super effects realm, but the genre is going to be different. So allow me to introduce you guys to Stunt Race FX, a very a very charming racing game. And I'm not sure if it was made by Argonaut proper or if it was made by Enterbrain. I know Enterbrain actually developed a couple of super effects games, one of them being Vortex. That's actually another super effects game that I have in my collection. That was a fun game. You're talking about Solfeast. I still have a copy of it, but I don't have a Sega CD. I wish I had a Sega CD. I would play it, but I guess I'll just have to settle for Shadow Squadron for 32X, which I'm kind of thinking about fishing out the parts to my Sega not 32X in order to play some Shadow Squadron or some Doom 32X. I also have what's it called? Virtua Racing Deluxe, which is a really, really good port of Virtua Racing for the 32X. Let's do Novice. Do the Novice campaign or circuit. I also have a really, really awful mecha combat game. It's kind of trying to be like a Mech Warrior sort of experience, but it's just terrible. It's got a really obnoxious soundtrack. It's called Machine Head, I believe. Alright, so if you guys are curious, it's not the stream that's choppy, it's the game. Just putting it out there as a fair warning, you know, just a little disclaimer. If you guys start to get nauseous, I apologize. But this is how 3D games were back in the day. If they weren't on the arcade standard or the PC standard like Doom, it's what you had to deal with. This is what you this is what home consoles had to offer back in the day. So, jeez, old Nintendo truck. All right, so the pink power-ups, that's for the damage meter. Yes, you can actually die in this game. And then the blue power-ups are turbo power-ups, or boost power-ups. You can see this blue flashing gauge right now. I have it pressed. Oh! Yo. It's, needless to say, really hard to control this game, because the frame rate is that choppy and that inconsistent. But for some reason, this is a game that I actually enjoyed back in the day. I can't say it's as playable as Star Fox or Vortex or even Dirt Tracks FX or even Doom, even though, like, that Super Nintendo version of Doom sucks. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just putting it out there. SolidStateRomcast@gmail.com. Send your hate mail there if you disagree. But Doom Super Nintendo, I'd rather play the 32X version. And that's being dead honest. I remember renting Doom for Super Nintendo, and I don't know why I did it back in the day. I just thought, yo, more Doom. Maybe it's got extra stuff in it. I don't know. But, gosh. The game is not good. It's super choppy, and the enemies are missing frames of animation. So, because of the lack of frames, the enemies attack with a lot more ferocity than they normally would in the original Doom. Like, so you don't really see, like, you know, there are maybe 2 to 3 frames of animation in between the wind-up, the idle animation, then there are, like, frames of, you know, wind-up animation, and then there's the attack animation, or the attack sprite. But the wind-up frames are just missing from the equation, so... yeah, Doom SNES, not good. Not good. That being said, the Doom Super Nintendo OST is leagues better than the 32X version. Just, the 32X version music is just garbage. It just sucks. I mean, it's like the video game equivalent of just wet farts. All it is. Come on, get that turbo power up. Yeah, there we go. Or that boost power up, sorry. Don't want to misquote. Oh, slow down. How is this guy ahead of me? This is ridiculous. Oh gosh, don't fall. Whatever you do, do not fall off. Oh. Schnikes. Okay. Oh no. Oh, I thought it was I thought it was the final lap. I stand corrected. I was about to check out the chat because I What? Where the hell did you come from, asshole? All right. This guy is just jamming me up. I need him to not jam me up. Put it out. Alright, final checkpoint for the finish line. Go. Oh shoot, oh shoot. Speedsters. Picking up. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Stumble across Soulstar with the Sega CD. Get it, especially if you like Star Fox. I'll keep that in mind. You know, there are other games that remind me of Star Fox, but aren't necessarily fully 3D. So there's Total Eclipse, which was made by Crystal Dynamics back in, I don't know if it was 92 or 93. It was made for the 3DO, and then it was later ported to the PlayStation as well as the Sega Saturn, I believe. But the 3DO version of Total Eclipse is way better. In fact, you know, man, if I find all the hookups to 3DO, I might hook that up and play some Total Eclipse, because that game's really fun. Also, there's a really good first-person shooter for it called PO'd, and it's it's the only FPS game you need for 3DO. And then I've got a couple of import games to play. Let's see. Blug Blug Blah Blah says, have you checked out Death Stranding yet? Yes, I have. In fact, I've kind of wanted to play it for the stream, but I don't think Death Stranding is good for a stream. In fact, I've watched a live stream of Death Stranding, and the game was literally not meant to be live streamed. Not really. That being said, I actually do love the game. I just haven't been able to play it all that often. Sometimes I'll have maybe half an hour, maybe an hour or two to experience the game. I mean, I enjoy it. Just, I can't really devote a lot of my time to really any game. That's kind of why I only stream on Sunday evening, and it's all retro games. And I don't really prep for the streams per se. So you know, this playthrough of Star Fox, that was just kind of me re-immersing myself in the game because, oh geez, now this the physics of the tractor trailer right here, they're so absurd. But yeah, I love Death Stranding, but I don't think it's well suited. So that's kind of why I put it off. And also, I prefer doing retro games for my live stream. I might get into Xbox 360. That might be as recent as we go. See about it. Oh, nope. Sidewall. See, I've just it's really hard to read the chat, play a game at the same time, especially a racing game. Let's see, I've just started Death Stranding, digging it a lot. Let's see. Yeah, I feel ya. It's a slow game. It's a slow burn game. Yes, absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have any issue with Death Stranding as a game. It's just that the only way I could ever recommend somebody live streaming the game is if they're live streaming it, I guess, post-commercial relevancy, and they're kind of doing it for the historical value. That's the only way I could ever justify doing a live stream. So maybe, you know, maybe a few years from now, if YouTube still exists, I'll probably do a live stream of it, kind of revisiting it and talking about, yes, its footprint on the industry and its historical significance. But I do think it's a significant game. I mean, what it does in terms of its social aspect, it's amazing. It's amazing that a game that doesn't have you interacting with other PCs or player characters actually can provoke you to give of yourself to other people and have them in return give back to you. It's just amazing. Obviously, Hideo Kojima did a lot of research on human psychology in that regard. He had to have. Like the whole idea of that game is holding on to hope. It's kind of cool. You know, oh, you know, and it's, I think it's intent. Well, okay. Thanks a lot, game. Was that really necessary to chuck rocks at me? I think it's a commentary on how things are today. You know, even though we're technically connected through social media, we're so socially, I don't know. I think we're socially stunted in some respect. Almost to the point where people are having issues with understanding things as simple as body language. And I don't know. Things are so polarized in this country. I'm not going to get deeply into that subject, but I'm just broadly stating kind of how the situation is in the country. So you compare that to the wasteland of United Cities of America, and you see there are a few hopefuls who are kind of trying to pick up the pieces and I guess bring back some element or some semblance of normalcy to a world that is ruined. And I think that's a cool idea. But it's all predicated under the whole idea of holding on to hope. You know, it's kind of cool. But you could go on forever about, you know, the themes of a game or a movie or something like that. As to whether or not they're consistent, you know, I'm not sure because I haven't really completed the game. So my understanding of the themes of Death Stranding could very well be subjective, you know? But I'd like to think it's about holding on to hope and reconnecting people and community. Alright, hairpin turn, herd. Woo! There we go. Negotiated that. But yeah, I could never live stream that game. As much as I love it. I love you, Hideo Kojima, but I can't stream your game. It's too... It would be too boring to a live audience. Uh-oh. This guy. Oh! What do I get for looking at the chat again? I'll check the chat again once I beat this race. Woo! You know, even though this game is constantly at odds with its technical stability, you know, it's crumbling. I feel like at every turn it crumbles, no pun intended, but at every hairpin turn it almost shatters under the weight of its technical instability. You know, the inconsistent frame rate, the weak draw distances. I'm wondering if this game was kind of a beacon, kind of a watermark for other game developers trying to make racing experiences in 3D, to look at this as an example of what needs to be improved in the 3D arena if you're going to make a racing game experience with polygonal graphics, whether they be texture mapped or just soft shaded. Oh god! Oh, piss off! Man, that's BS. On the final lap, you're gonna do that to me? That's great. Alright, hairpin turn, let's do it. Oh, God. Hey, Mario. Hey, Star Fox. Or, hey, Fox McCloud. Sorry. I know how much you hate to be called Star Fox. Hey, Kirby. Go. Oh, no, I missed it again. I missed that boost power up again. Ugh. Not gonna say it. There we go. Boom. Goal. Alright. Back to the chat. Let's see. To do a retrospective of the Elder Scrolls games. The old ones, I mean. Yeah, the game has a lot of heart and depth. Yeah, it's best to avoid these issues. Well, yeah. Yep. Things are super touchy and super polarized. I think he is overrated. Omega says I think he is overrated. Who's overrated? Hideo Kojima, or I'm not sure who you're referring to. Now, if you're referring to Todd the God Howard, personally, I do believe that he had a bit overrated. Oh, Hideo Kojima? Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, I at the same time that I believe he's the Alfred Hitchcock of the games industry, I do believe that I believe that his creative talent is something that needs to be tempered and reeled in a bit, or else he kind of just he runs off and just comes up with something like Death Stranding. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad that Death Stranding exists. Can't talk right. I'm happy that Death Stranding exists. However, I'm well aware that, man, it's just a game that has no broad appeal whatsoever. I see the magic of the game, but I do also see that a lot of elements of the game are at odds with itself, or with themselves. Let's see. Omega says, yeah, Konami was a necessary evil to keep him in check. To a point, I do believe that. However, I do not condone the scorched earth approach that Konami took to, I guess, ousting him from the company. The way they did that was, I mean, it was fairly ridiculous. You know, the whole, basically keeping him, I don't know, keeping him cooped up in the office, as it were. It's ridiculous. Not to say that they forced him to stay in the office like it was a prison, but he was not allowed to network with people during that time. They kind of forced him into an echo chamber of sorts, and that's something I don't really agree with. I don't agree with the treatment that they gave to Hideo Kojima at the end of things, because, you know, the guy had been at the company for, what, 23 years? He'd been there since the mid-80s, and that's how they did him? I don't know, it's just not right. But I will say this. The checks and balances that they put on Hideo Kojima, yes, those were necessary for sure. They had to do that because, like I said, had they not done that, every game he made would have been a Death Stranding. And I'm sorry, but that's not good for the bottom line. No, it's, like I said, Death Stranding is cool. I'm glad it exists, but, man, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Oh, by the way, cool feature of this game, and it's something that Sony took notice of, I guarantee it. I've got a PlayStation controller right here. Look at PlayStation controller, then you look at, sorry, I bumped the mic, sorry, my bad. You look at the Super Nintendo controller, the only difference is the extra 2 shoulder buttons and the grips. That's it. So one thing that Sony took notice of, a lot of developers for the PlayStation took notice of, was stuff like games for Nintendo that would allow you to reset it by hitting both shoulder buttons and the start and select buttons at the same time. So, when you look at a lot of the later PlayStation 1 games, they all have a feature where you can soft reboot it. Pretty cool. Let's see. Blug Blah Blah says, he's an avant-garde film director disguised as an action game director. Very true. His first love was movies, which is the very reason why Metal Gear mirrors the structure of Escape from New York, right down to the main character. You have Solid Snake, Snake Plissken. No, there's an obvious influence there. Alright, so we're doing the expert course. Oh man, I missed that boost. Sucks. Alright. Oh, come on. Nice. Oh, jeez. See some activity in the chat. I will check that out as soon as I beat this race. Final lap. Alright, alright, alright. I get it, I get it. You're a sharp turn. Oh god, the frame rate. Like I said, the frame rate's not ideal, but that's what we had to work with back in 93 and 94. Oh man. Man, whoa, I was about to run out of time? Was I really? Gee, man, that's crazy. Huh. Oh, that sucks. I didn't get... Let's see. Blug blug blah blah. You have to be specifically wanting his Kojima-ness. Yes. More than actually wanting to play the game. Yeah, for sure. He definitely has something to say, not just about gaming or the industry, but also about themes or ideas that lie outside of the video game stratosphere, for sure. I mean his whole thing with MGS2 Sons of Liberty, it was basically a questioning of the very idea of postmodernity itself. Pretty interesting. Let's see. Omega says, if Sony contributed anything to the controller, is its fangled gripping. Newfangled gripping. That's what you meant to say. Newfangled gripping that makes holding a controller comfortable. Yeah. They also added 2 extra shoulder buttons. And I guess the dual analog thing, yeah. But the PlayStation controller was, yeah, it was inspired by the Super Nintendo Super Nintendo controller. All right, let's move on. Here's a trivia question for you guys. Feel free to answer it whenever. What was the first 3D platformer that utilized the DualShock? The only hint I'm giving you is that it's a 3D platformer. That's it. And Omega. There you go. Ape Escape. That's correct. Oh. Not paying attention. Back off. Way off. Man, how is this guy doing this? Come on. Oh, I just clipped through the entire environment. What? That was very peculiar. Oh, jeez, I missed the boost again. That was close. You're not getting first place, buddy. Nice. Yeah, that was relatively fast on the answer, but then again, Omega knows stuff. Alright, time for the bonus stage where I can't control this semi for nothing. This bonus stage is just awful. I can't control this thing for... Oh, jeez. Oh, God. You can't control this for nothing. Let's see, on a positive note, let's see, Omega says on a positive note, Kojima, he announced that his new game is going to be a horror game. Plug blah 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 says, that's good to hear. I totally concur. That's awesome news. Crack my neck. Do it. Nope. Gosh. Oh, I don't believe that. I don't care. Oh. Righty. In the lead. Oh, well, I spoke too soon. Stop it. Stop going out of control. Go, rank 1. Nope. Not again? It happened again? Come on. There we go. Man, that little Formula 1 car is a real pain in the ass. Not gonna lie. Alright, here's last level of the expert track. Expert circuit. Alright, I'm gonna enable Easter egg. It might run me the race, cause me to lose it, but oh, here we go. But Easter egg I want to show, so there we go. There's the R-Wing from Star Fox. Hey, what's up, buddy? What's up, Fox? Alright, like I said, that might cause me to lose the race, but I don't care. It's a cool little Easter egg. Good soundtrack on this. Oh, come on. Stop hitting the wall, buddy. Nope. Jesus. I'm not not doing so hot. Here we go. Regaining control. Stop it. It's off. Ooh. There we go. That's game. That's game. Cool. Well, a few modes aside, and an expert or a master circuit side, that's pretty much Stunt Race FX. Cool. So when am I streaming Super Marathon? Oh. Oh man. Just got instant rest reading that. I don't know how to break the news to you, Omega, but I'm not sure if I'm ever going to get a chance to play Super Marathon ever again unless I can afford to buy another Apple Pippin. Unfortunately, the optical drive in my Apple Pippin bit the dust. And I was trying to emulate an Apple Pippin optical drive with SCSI to SD interface, and I have not had any results with it. So, unfortunately, until I figure out how to either negate the presence of an can't talk. Unless I find a way to fake or negate the presence of an optical drive for the Apple Pippin, I'm not going to be able to play Super Marathon. Right now, that Pippin, sadly, is nothing more than a $300 paperweight right now, because the optical drive just doesn't work anymore. So. Wow, even though your Pippin was brand new, I don't actually believe that it was almost brand new. I think it was used. It may have even been used by someone else running burnt disc games on it. What I'm getting at is anytime you try to run burnt disc games on a disc-based system that has very specific, I guess, variables in terms of like very specific stipulations for its media, like its media pressing. Like certain games, they have to be made a certain way to run properly. And with modern burners not being able to burn discs at 4 speed or 3 speed or double speed or whatever, it's really hard to burn games with unsigned code that will run on an Apple Pippin or any sort of disc-based system without it putting the laser reading or the laser reader, the CD reading mechanism, through too much punishment. I know that happens on the Sega Saturn, and I know that also happens on the Sega Dreamcast, where if you try to run games with unsigned code on those systems, yeah, they'll run, but they'll put extra pressure on that the laser of the seed reading mechanism, and will shorten the lifespan, just like the PS2. Technically, it's a very cheap DVD player, or it was back then, but if you use it solely for DVDs, you're gonna wear out the laser of the or the optical drive very, very quickly. But nice hustle, LOL. Thank you. There has to be an app for that. Check the Apple Store. Yeah, I wish there was. I wish there was. As far as I know, there is a subgroup of who are working on cracking and reverse engineering the Apple Pay and trying to figure out just how to run new software, new code on it. And so far, they haven't really figured out how to negate or replace the optical drive for the Apple Pippin, but they're making some progress. They're slowly but surely figuring out how they. But anyway, that's pretty much it for me talking about my Apple Pippin woes, and that's pretty much going to do it for installment of Solid State Live. As always, this is John Rivera from the. Thank you guys so much for joining me and watching me suffer through this stream. I don't think this was a terribly good stream. I'm not necessarily proud of it. It could have been a lot stronger, but that's the way the cooking times. And all I can do is prove better. But at any rate, I honestly thank you guys for joining me. I hope you'll tune in next week. Not quite sure what I'm going to. I might test out some cartridges that I've procured from an online shop. One of them being Clock Tower by Human Entertainment. It's Super Famicom, Super Famicom exclusive survival horror game. It's really, really good. So maybe I'll do that for. It's gonna be a longer stream because it takes longer to complete, but I think it will be worth it. Mainly because Clock Tower. Anyway, that's gonna do it for tonight. Thanks again for watching. See you guys next.